Hey, what's up everyone? Ben at ProFixer, and today on the channel we have a product that so many shops have questions about, and it is primer or adhesion promoter. I have the infamous 3M Primer 94, but also I have Tesa Primer Adhesion Promoter, which you may recognize because a lot of you probably carry Tesa tape already. And today's video is sponsored by Injured Gadgets, who is one of the leading electronic repair part suppliers. And so naturally, everything on my workbench is linked up directly to Injured Gadgets' website in the description below. So without further ado, let's take a look at primer and what it does and how to use it and how it can make your repairs even better. Here in front of me, I have 3M Primer 94 as well as Tesa Adhesion Promoter. Both of these are available from Injured Gadgets. I've linked them up in the description below, so be sure to pick one of these up for your shop as they're incredibly awesome and increase the adhesion bond that your adhesive will have. The reason you want to use primer during a repair is because it increases the adhesion that your Tesa tape or any other adhesive has on the surfaces that you're bonding together. A lot of times people experience lifting whenever they do iPad repairs, and there's a lot of variables that come into that, which would include a dirty frame or would include misplaced adhesive, but a lot of it comes down to lack of primer. The way that you use primer is incredibly simple. To not overcomplicate the process, you literally just get a Q-tip, put some primer on it, and then paint it onto whatever surface you want to adhere together. One of the things to note though, when using primer, you have to let it dry before placing your adhesive on whatever surface you're bonding together. The primer itself is incredibly reactionary in its liquid state. You'll notice that whenever you open up the Primer 94 or the Tesa Adhesion Promoter, it fills up your store with an incredibly noxious vapor that is flammable. Understanding that if you try to put adhesive onto wet primer, it's just going to tear up your adhesive and cause an actual weaker bond than dry adhesive would in the first place. So be sure that whenever you apply it to the frame that you make sure that it is absolutely dry. And we also apply 2 coats to ensure proper coverage, but either way, just apply enough, let it dry, put your adhesive on just like normal. One of the things that I noticed years ago when we started using Primer 94 before we knew about Tesa was during iPad repairs, when you pull off an OEM screen, it appeared that there was some type of residue that you could see behind the actual adhesive tape. If you held it up in the light, you'd be able to see some type of residue going around the edges, which always made me think that they use primer as well. One of the really cool things with the Apple OEM primer is you can use a UV light to see it. So I have a UV light here, and if you shine it on the adhesive itself, you'll start to see a residue and some smears outside of where the adhesive is actually laying, which is really, really cool. And it makes it so much more obvious, especially when you turn the light off, that you can totally see where the primer was placed on the iPad itself. So pretty cool stuff. When using either one of these primers, you do want to be careful to avoid any kind of spillage, because in high quantities, it's incredibly hard to clean off. Even in low quantities, if you get it onto a microphone or a front camera, you basically have to replace the camera itself or the microphone or whatever else it touches, as it's going to immediately gum it up and cause a lot of issues that way. You can clean surfaces with isopropyl alcohol if you have gotten it onto anything that it shouldn't be on, but if you have any sensitive components like a microphone or front camera, you probably will have to replace those. So that brings up a unique way to use the primer in your store. Before, we had actually just opened up the top of the can every time we needed to use it and dipped a Q-tip directly in. The big problem with that is the vapors would fill the store. You would smell those for a bit afterwards because they lingered, and it just wasn't a pleasant experience. As well, the spill factor of accidentally tipping over a can onto your workbench and having it spill all over your tools and all over customers' devices was more than we wanted to deal with. So we started to pick up these little bottles here, but then also that brings up another hurdle to overcome: how to fill these bottles without spilling, going from a can to a small top. The way that we do that is you'll actually want to siphon it up through the nozzle itself. So opening up the top of this can here, 3M is essentially just a big paint can, and you will go ahead and basically squeeze your bottle, insert it in, and you can see it fill right up very easily. You'll do this a couple times once it gets full, or once the bottle is expanded, and you can flip it over, squeeze the air out, and then flip it back down and siphon up some more adhesion promoter into the bottle. So definitely pretty easy, and you can see that the 3M is very liquidy. It basically shoots up in there and fills up incredibly quick. One of the things that you'll notice whenever using the Tesa, however, it is a bit thicker. So unscrewing the top, which I do like much more, because if you did accidentally spill this, you would only spill about half the can, versus with 3M you'd spill the entire can, and this top is incredibly hard to get back on there, being that it's like a paint can. You almost have to have a hammer or a screwdriver to open it up. So this one here, you'll notice that this one fills much slower than 3M, which isn't necessarily a big deal. It's not really a deal breaker. But it is much harder to get it up in there. If you had a little bit larger needle, they would fill up a little bit easier. With that being said, whenever you're using any kind of primer, because it is evaporating, has a crazy vapor to it, this will thicken up over time. You can usually get about a week or two out of a bottle before it gets too gummy. And sometimes you can refill the same bottle. You'll just need to make sure you empty out any of the old primer to make sure you get all that old gunky residue out of there. But realistically, these are pretty cheap bottles, so after they get gummed up, we don't try to clean them. We just toss them in the trash and pick up a brand new one. So now that we have both of them filled up, you are now ready to be able to apply it to your iPad. Not to overcomplicate the process again, but just to kind of show you how easy it is to apply this. You'll realistically just put a couple of drops and saturate the end of your Q-tip with primer. You don't want to put too much on there, and you don't want to get it on any areas that it shouldn't be on. So especially when moistening the end of the Q-tip, make sure you work away from your device before working directly on your device. It will definitely avoid any kind of spills that you would have. So basically just paint it on, incredibly easy to do. And that's just about as easy as that. You'll notice with 3M, because it is a little more liquidy than Tesa, that it will stay wet more so, and you're going to have a little more buildup in the edges, versus with Tesa, it lays pretty much flat from the get-go. One of the things you want to make sure that you have with these is you do want to have one of these silicone toppers on here, because if not, your primer is going to dry up in just a matter of maybe a day or two, because it does need to be capped. So working around the edges, we'll just apply this here, and it's it's incredibly easy to do. But I wanted to show you one of the cool things with Tesa that makes me think that Apple is using Tesa adhesion promoter in their factories. So like I showed before, where you can use the UV light to detect where the primer was on the original screen, you can use a UV light as well to detect where Tesa has been on your frame or whatever surface you've applied it to. So as we can see here, if we turn this on, we can see that the frame is glowing quite a bit, and it's maybe not too noticeable until you go over to the 3M side and there's absolutely no shine at all. So incredibly cool. And especially when we turn off the light, it makes a much more drastic difference. As you can see, applying primer is an incredibly easy process, but it will make incredibly drastic results as far as how strong your adhesive holds to whatever you're trying to bond together. I appreciate everyone that's still watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit the like button. And don't forget to comment below what you want to see in future videos. But once again, my name is Ben Rosso from ProFixer, and I'll see you later.